Thank you, Emily. Just slightly too short for that. All right. Let's keep it going with our next writer. He was on stage reading for the first edition of Red Light Lit a couple of months ago. Yeah. And here is his biography, in fact, like this. He's a writer, artist, and educator living in San Francisco, where he is chair of humanities and art history at San Francisco's Art Institute. Please welcome Miah Jeffra.
Hi, everybody. Thank you to Veronica and Jennifer for inviting me back. I really appreciate it. And all the lovely people in the room. Some of you I would like to have sex with, but I can't. Actually, it's not early. It's Friday. And, early Friday. I don't know, there's a couple things that came to mind. Thank you, Sylvie, for reading from a book about Leonard Cohen, who is one of 4 major influences in my life as far as music goes. And I was really interested in something that you said about Leonard Cohen, saying that he came into his sexual awakening at 11. And you said that that wasn't true, that men or boys exaggerate. That is not true. 11 is when we come into our sexual awakening. And I know that because I remember listening to Leonard Cohen at 11 and getting a certain tingle, as well as Lee Fields and Al Green. And I used to jerk off to Led Zeppelin at 11. And I would imagine things like David Prue, who was in my 5th grade class and had piercing blue eyes, and I remember wanting to lick his asshole. And I mean, that's love and sexual awakening. And you know, that relates to being bound as well, because I remember dreaming about David Prue, and I was back in Baltimore, and my mom was driving in her red pickup truck, and we were listening to Eddie Money's Take Me Home Tonight. Do you remember that song? And I was thinking about the morning that I masturbated to a Leonard Cohen song, thinking about David Prue, and I decided to share this information slightly with my mother. I said, David Prue has beautiful blue eyes. Have you ever noticed that? And I remember her looking to me, and it was kind of this stolid, quiet moment, and then she goes, I think that's kind of inappropriate. That is the binding, yeah? So, anyway, I'm not going to read the poem that I have in Red Light Lit, even though thank you so much for publishing it, because it's more of like a Wednesday night poem. I'm going to read something that's a little bit more Friday night, if that's okay. I didn't plan it, I just happened to print it out. I'm an idiot. Okay. So this is from a series of very short fictions. I call them my blowjob stories. It's not autobiographical. And this one is called Spring Semester is the Most Violent Time of Year. One night, his freshman year, at a small college in a small town, Gerald received a drunken blowjob from a guy at a party. They were in the backyard of the frat house, in the purple dark right before dawn, discussing cliff notes of Kant's First Critique. The newness of the word rhetoric, the mid-spring lushness, and the plastic bottle vodka made the whole world vibrate, and before he could mimic porno moans, Gerald was ejaculating outdoors for the first time onto some Kentucky bluegrass and the guy's brown polo shirt. Gerald was confused. He had never been attracted to a man before. In fact, he fantasized most about titty-fucking Kim Kardashian while tongue-flicking one of her sister's clit. It didn't matter which one. Maybe that was the issue, he thought, that it didn't matter if she had a face. Nevertheless, he thought to himself he must love the guy and started following him around. He now knew of the slipperiness of sexuality, read essays on it by androgynous names in psychology, in sociology, in English, in biology, in nutrition, in basket weaving, in intramural sports, in bathroom stalls, in the quotes of college love letters never sent, one of those inevitable and surprising discoveries that further proved that childhood and its absolutes were just a way to keep shit in a tiny, tidy plot of order. So he wrote poetry about the guy, not about his boner, cowlick, or collarbone, nor about the lip smacking of 4 hairy thighs, but the possibility of cosmic love. He read about that too in physics. He wrote poems, tried to hand them to the guy in the dining hall, wait for him in the university quad. Eventually, the guy, Brent something, a whittled stone of a man-boy, told him to back off. He wasn't a homo. That he had just wanted to see what it was like. Feel, corrected Gerald, but only to himself. Locusts were hatching under Brent's feet as he walked away. And with that, Gerald realized a conceit that came from somewhere deeper than his essays had ever reached, and said to no one, "I'm not a homo either." He flushed the red of cheap marinara and sat in the grass alone, flummoxed, his broken bow of a porch-bred mother would say, and sat there until the bruise of nightfall reminded him again of the lushness of life that awaits. Thank you.